Is everyone here? Are you really here? Not already arrived at food fair? Or thinking of the airport tomorrow and destination? Let us come back and really enjoy being here together. Treasure the moment that we still have here together with each other. We will enjoy listening to the three sound of the bell first. Dear Thai, dear Sangha, first of all, I would like to thank all the brothers, sisters coming up here to be with us today. And this is the last gathering for the sharing the teaching, but it's in the form of question and answer. And basically, the teaching comes from you because you will be the one who asked question. So we would like to take this chance to allow any one of you who have the question from your heart, from your practice, from your daily life, that you have been practicing, contemplating, and maybe still not quite sure that you found the way out or the answer or how to go about it. But actually, a lot of time, the way out is in. And all the answers already in you. We are here just to listen to your question and share from our heart as well, from our experience that may relate it to what are you going through. Before we start, may I introduce our Dhamma teachers. On my right is, you want to introduce yourself? She said just her name. Sister Nghiem. Sister Nghiem is one of our senior sisters in the Bright Moon Hamlet. Bright Moon Hamlet is over there is a Hamlet sister. And I will give her a nickname today. She is Sister Sherry. She ordained in the Sherry family. When we ordain, Thai give us the family names of our ordination family, fruit or flowers. In the past, sometimes it's animals. So we will have a nickname of our family today. And today I'm a Sister Apple. I'm ordained in the Apple family. And to my left, you also have met him from his Dhamma talk. Brother Phap, Today he also has the name Brother Pear. He's ordained in the Pear family. And he come with his sister. This is Sister Pear. They ordained in the same family. Sister Pear also Sister Hoang Nghiem. And she also, I heard sometimes she introduced herself as Sister Penguin. So for you to get to feel familiar with us a little bit before you come up and sit up here. So if you have any question, please stand up and come to sit here to be with us and share your question. And before we asking question, we will listen to the one sound of the bell. May I have first question, please? There he is. Brother Pear just say, no question, so happy.
Dear respected Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear Sangha, my heart's beating actually quite fast, which I wasn't expecting. I have a feeling that my question may be answered with just be present, be in the present moment, because it's about thinking about the future. Obviously, we talk a lot about being in the present moment and experiencing transformation in the present moment. I have a situation back home where I'm facing a lot of uncertainty about the future. And I tend to think about the future in a very negative way, a very pessimistic way. I think as a way to protect myself. So I will think of the worst case scenario. And then if that doesn't happen, I'm happy because, it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I recognize that that causes a lot of suffering in the present moment and causes a lot of anxiety. So I was wondering whether there is any skillful way to think about the future.
So, dear respected Thai, dear brothers, sisters, and dear all of our friends, I would like to share a little bit about your question, and our brother and sister will put more on it. I think the best skillful means to deal with anxiety about the future is our breathing. Maybe you all know that we teach about breathing and walking, but the longer I practice and train myself in the new habit of breathing, And walking, I see that I can dwell more in the present moment. And we only can dissolve the future problem with a peaceful energy. If we have peaceful energy, our mind will be clear, our body will be at ease, and I think that is the best moment for us to know what should we do for our future, the near future and the far future. So shortly, that's my answer. Thank you for listening.
Are you satisfied? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your practicing, accepting in the present moment very well. Satisfied, very quick. Thank you. Next question, please.
Thank you, dear respected Thai, dear beloved Sangha. Dear respected Thai, beloved Sangha, Dharma teachers, thank you for this opportunity to ask a question. I feel a little bit vulnerable and anxious actually to ask this one, but I feel like I have to because it's a question that keeps popping up for me. In my search for community and for belonging and for connection, especially a spiritual community in Sangha, I've encountered like a lot of beautiful values and people and aspirations, ideals to strive for. And it draws me to places like this and to communities like this. But there's things that I find in myself that come into conflict or disagreement with certain ideals or aspirations. For example, in a lot of the spiritual communities and lineages that I've connected to, I've sought, I've been exposed to, commonly vegetarianism is a core tenet, and also sexual pleasure tends to be seen as a negative, and I've tried to follow these ideals, but it seems to just, for me, I don't know if it's because I'm still attached to these things, or if I haven't developed spiritually enough, or if deep down in my core it's just still more authentic or more real for me to feel like there is a way to consume animals consciously and in a healthy way, for example, or to enjoy sexual pleasure and still be aspiring spiritually as well. So how do I reconcile these differences between myself and the spiritual communities that I connect to and that I want to connect to? Because I find myself either feeling like I have to be inauthentic or sacrificing some parts of myself in a small way or a big way, or pretend to be someone I'm not to fit in, or I become like fearful even of like staying in a community for fear of being rejected and not being accepted for who I am. Which is ironically the thing that I'm seeking in the first place, you know, belonging and acceptance. So, can you speak to the this inner conflict that I have? Thank you.
So, dear friends, we would like to learn mindfulness practice for us to be more aware of what we truly need, what truly brings us happiness, peace. So, but with the practice of stopping and looking more deeply, you learn to understand yourself better. And anything that we can do in awareness, in mindfulness, knowing the true value of what we are doing, whether it is nourishing for us and for others, cultivating joy, happiness, it can be seen something as spiritual. So anything that is done in mindfulness with clarity is a kind of spirituality. Opening the door with mindfulness is a spiritual act. Eating, walking, sitting in mindfulness is a spiritual act. So we need to see that kind of dimension, spiritual dimension, in the light of clarity of our mind and peace in our heart. Whatever that you are doing, but you do not feel at ease, you need to look again at yourself. I'm a little bit tired those days having to move everything because we are having a roof repair, so the residents have to move many things, so we've been a little bit tired those few days. But is it my voice? You can hear it? So we learn how to put a dimension, spiritual dimension, in everything we do in our daily life. It's not only sitting in the in the sitting room or chanting the sutras. It's something spirituality. Anything done in mindfulness with the clarity of mind and peace of the heart can be seen as something spiritual, and it can be something very nourishing and healing. So even sexual relationship, if it is done in mindfulness, if you know clearly the true value of that kind of relationship, it is something very beautiful and spiritual. It is not only for sense pleasure, but to create a true communion of body and mind. So you have to see that yourself, what it truly means spiritual. And any daily activity is seen as spiritual. That is why our tradition, we practice 24 hours a day, not only sitting or walking, but everything we do, it needs to be guided by mindfulness. And when you can see things that way, and when you can see things clearly in your mind, in your heart, and all the conflicts can be removed. So you need to see more clearly in yourself. And our practice is to help us to come back to ourselves and discover ourselves at every moment in everything we do in our daily life for us to offer the best help we need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Third question. Next question, please. If you have questions, you can also come up and sit in line.
Dear brothers and sisters, dear Sangha, dear friends, here is my question. During my sitting meditation, one question keep coming up. Before last day, our Dharma teacher says, when we sitting meditation, when we having sitting meditation, we should stop our mind. It says stop, then look deep inside. And I don't understand, if I am already stopped, how can I look deep inside? It's quite contradictory. And it really bothers me because I'm trying to stop and then just breathing in, breathing out. But it also requires me to look deep inside. When should I just breathe in, breathe out? When should I look deep inside? That really bothers me that I'm not skillful enough, so I want to get some guidance. Thank you.
So, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, so you ask when you should practice stopping and when you can start practice looking deeply. Is it like that?
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you cannot differentiate the two steps. Yeah. So when you can start to stop, then the process of looking deeply is already there. And you don't need to try to practice looking deeply into something. As long as you are in the present moment, as long as you are mindful of your thoughts, then you are able to look into yourself. Stop means here, it doesn't mean that you have no thinking. It doesn't mean that. Stop means here, you be the For example, like you go into the building, then you always have the security guide at the entrance of the building. The security guy is always standing there, and he checks who is coming in, who is going out. And now in the practice of meditation, you do the same. So you sit there and just to observe what is coming up in my mind. I am aware of what is coming up in my mind. If it is anger, I say, oh, hello, my anger. If it is the feeling of happiness, we say, oh, that is my happiness. Just me recognize what it is there. So that means stopping. Stopping doesn't mean that you have no thinking at all. But stopping means you stop there. You bring the awareness and observe what is going in and out of your mind. And when that process starts, you are in the present moment. Then you will be able to look deeply into your problem. If you know that, oh, that is my anger, and you have the time to be there with your anger, and slowly, slowly you will know where your anger comes from. And when you start to see where your anger comes from, then that is looking deeply. Clear?
I believe I have further question that if the anger comes from my history, comes from my past, then I look into that. It means I go to the past, but not at the present. I'm sorry, I just a logical guy.
That's okay, that's okay. Yeah. I mean that you are in the present moment and you look at your past. It is not that you are carried away by your past. That is different. Now you are here and you look at it. It is not that you come to it.
So, dear respected brothers, sisters, and friends, I would like to share a little bit on this question. When we first come to the practice of sitting meditation, the first thing we should do is calm our body. We relax our body so that our body can be still and calm. And when our body is calm, our mind will be still like a lake. You know, when we are sitting on the bank of the lake, if the lake is not still, we cannot see clearly what is deep inside of the lake. But if our mind is still, it's like the water still, and we can see what is inside of the lake, even a little rock underneath. So it's the same. You need to resting first, so that all the thoughts will settle down, and then literally you can see what is important, what is the subject of your contemplation. And at that time you can pick one of them. For example, for your anger, and then you can still use your mindful breathing to breathe with it, stay on it, and then gradually you can see where it's coming from. For example, today this morning you not feeling well at the sitting meditation, and you get a little bit irritated. And then you sit down, sit still, and you recognize that, oh, this irritated come from a lack of sleeping last night. Yeah. So it will appear for you very clearly at the time. You don't need to put a lot of effort to think about it, but everything will appear for you. That is my experience. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I'm sorry to take your time. If you, just as the example, if I to record that my sleeping last night, Then I will go back to my sleeping, and I will start to thinking what caused my sleeping not well, and what's going on last night, and that's so distractive. I'm sorry, I'm such a stubborn student.
Okay, let's come back to the bell, and you are aware of your distraction and your stubbornness as you share. And just really come back and breathe deeply. You can put your hand on your belly. Sometimes we breathe for maybe 30-something years. You must be under 35, right? Because you wake up. Okay, 30-something years, but we never know. So let's put our hand on our belly and just allow the sound of the bell to go with your breathing. And somewhere that when you breathing in, your stomach is rising. When you breathing out, your stomach is falling. You be able to feel your breathing, and do you feel that you have stopped from your question? You have stopped from your thinking?
Yeah.
That is a stopping.
Yeah.
That is a stopping. When I breathe with you, I also stopping from trying to answer your question. That's a stopping. And so I think it takes time to find the bell like this. It doesn't have to be big like this. You can get from the bookshop small one. We call a bell of mindfulness. Find the bell of mindfulness in your daily life. It can be the flower, the lotus, and the air, the scenery, the picture of who you look and you feel fresh. It reminds you to come back to yourself. And those are the bell of mindfulness to help you to realize the meaning of stopping. Stop is not stop thinking. Stop you from running away from something or going after something. Even the idea, even going after understanding or looking deeply. And like Brother Pear say, when you stop, you have everything. Like Sister Pear say, when the lake is clear, you can see everything clearly. And that is mean that you are in the present moment. Your body is here, your mind is here. And even you are thinking, you are aware that you are thinking. Stop is not mean stop thinking. Stop running away from something, going after something. It means stop from take apart your body and your mind. Because you sit here, but your mind may be everywhere, thinking of everything. And when you can train yourself to continue to stop like that, naturally the energy of mindfulness will increase. When it's so concentrate, we call concentration. It just become a very strong light that can shine on whatever you are having, either the problem now or in the past. And then you can understand. You can continue to see that event, that issue, that problem as it is. and be able to stay with it and look into it. That's what we call looking deeply. It's not from thinking. The more you think, the more you get into trouble. And when you can continue to do that, you understand yourself and understand others. I hope you understand our answers.
Yeah, I do. I do understand, and I know the reason why I have that question is because I haven't been stopped.
And that is already stopping. That is your energy of mindfulness. When you are aware that you have not been stopped, it's already the first step of stopping. Congratulations. Thank you for your practice and your question. Next question, please. You can sit in line, so I don't have to choose who comes first. Thank you. You can come and sit.
So, dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters and dear friends, so I would like to start by expressing my gratitude before my questions. So I really liked how you talked about mindfulness and meditation is something that we can do every single second as long as we're breathing, because meditation is more than just an action, it's a state of mind, and our mind can be meditating whenever we do something. So I really liked how you pointed that out. And to Sister Apple and to Brother Pear, I really enjoy your Dharma talks. I really hope to hear your talks more, so I would definitely coming back. And to Sister Pear, our penguin, I really like the example of the lake that you show us, because I think that a lot of us have lakes that are very dirty and polluted and a lot of trash. So by meditating and being mindful, we can clear that lake. So I will remember that example forever. So thank you guys. My question is, if each of you have one thing to tell the entire world, what will you say?
What would you say? Let me ask you back first, because I'm supposed to be the one who answers. What would you say for yourself?
I don't think I would say anything, but I would love to smile to everyone. So that's what I would do. But I would still hear to love what you say. Do not copy my answer, okay?
That's a very nice question. I have one only thing if I have something to say, We are all brothers, sisters. We are but one family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she already answered for all of us because we are one.
Thank you for your time.
I saw we still have many friends waiting to ask questions. The good question can be very short. So if you can really look into what is from your heart that you want to ask, then just ask. And it doesn't have to be long. And good question can benefit all of us. Let's listen to one sound of the bell.
Dear Thai, dear brothers, dear sister, I noticed that there are lots of friends from different countries in the world. So, dear friends, xin chào, namaste, ni mơn hảo, sawadika. Yeah. The reason I want to do that because you will be happier when you are greeted in your own language. So I want to make you happier when I start my question. Are you happy now? Yeah. So several days ago, in the Dharma talk of Brother Phap Tử, Thầy asked us, did we fully understand ourselves? So I just see that some people raised their hand. So I want to confirm again by asking you, do you understand yourself fully? Or if someone are okay with that, please raise your hand to confirm that. Do you fully understand yourself? Yeah, just some people. So we can see that nowadays many people are struggling to understand themselves. When we work, when we study, we just sometimes just partially understand ourselves. So according to Buddha's wisdom, can you help us, show us some practical ways to help us understand ourselves better? I remember once philosopher said that when we understand ourselves, we will understand the universe. So it is very important, especially for youngsters like us, to understand ourselves and to head for the better future by understand ourselves. Yeah, that is my question.
Dear Sangha, when you asked this question, I remember about maybe 1 or 2 days ago when we have the sitting meditation around the Bodhi tree. You remember that? Yeah. That morning, that's very fun because I woke up early and I go to sitting meditation early too. But I didn't remember that we have outdoor sitting meditation. So when I walked up toward the sitting meditation hall, I saw a crowd of people. They walked very with the cushion. They walked together as a group and very quite fast because I feel like the group of people they afraid that they will missing the sitting meditation session. And I follow that group of people. I walk with the other friend to the sky yard, and then nothing there. So the so the group has to walk to the Bodhi tree, but nothing there yet. And then the group walk back to the moon yard. When I did sitting meditation at that on that morning, I meditate on that image a lot. I feel very happy because I know that like our generation, the young people nowadays, sometimes we go like that. We go without knowing where we're going, where we head up to. And we just run in a circle of life, like study, getting job, and married, or things like that. And if we don't have a chance to come here or come to wherever you can to know about the teachings of stopping and deep looking, you will still keep running on that circle of life. And I think we already share with all of you about all the practice to understand more about yourself. All the basic practice here is to help you to stop and also look deeply into whatever you have inside at the moment, but also the situation of your family and your work at the office or things like that, so that you can have a better version for your style of living. Maybe if you choose mindful living, like us, I think that's very wonderful because because not only because I stay in this mindful living, but because the more you stay longer with the style of living in mindfulness, the more you will see the miracle of life in many aspects, not about only yourself, your mind, your body, your characteristic, or your family member, but you understand more about almost everything. And that's my sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for answering that. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Dear sisters and brother, and dear everyone. Oh. Dear sisters and brother, and dear everyone, I guess my question has more to do with navigating through daily life with mindfulness practices. And it's quite a short one, actually. So my understanding of looking at things mindfully is to look at things through the eyes of a child. But what does it mean to look at life through the eyes of a child? To be more specific, does it mean we should lower our expectations and have a realistic ideas of not only ourselves but also of other things and other people? I'm asking this because I'm often told that I'm quite naive and often let down by my own expectations of other people's and my ideas of them. So in this case, does it mean I should be less idealistic? And is this what looking at life through the lens of a child mean? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
I think it's important to be aware that when we live our life and how we've been affected by others, peoples, and how can we understand it and stay with it and come out of it. And I think many times when we live in the society, we work in the office, we have friends, and it's easily to get the pressure, the expectation, a kind of collective consciousness, a norm or something. And sometimes we were pulled and pushed by others. Because we ourselves, we also not sure about ourselves. We also not very aware of ourselves. It's a kind of, we cannot really stand firm on our feet and be still enough to allow us to really stay in that moment and to see what's happening inside of us. From body, the tension that rises up in our body, or the feelings that come up, the thinking that come up. And many times when we live in that situation, we have a lot of comparing thinking. We always compare that we are better than the others, or we worse than the others, or we not as smart, we not as quick. In a way, we are too naive. It's in the sense that we feel that we put ourselves out like a self, and we compare with others, our norms or whatever is out there, and we think we're not as quick, we're not smart, we so naive, we are lower. This is all the complex. And sometimes we feel we're pretty good. We also compare that I'm also as good as you. I'm also as quick as you. It's also complex. We call equality complex. When you compare with others or whatever, sometimes we compare ourselves with the past. Sometimes our idea is a game in our mind and we compare. And then we compare that we are lower, then we create the inferiority complex. And when we feel pretty good and proud of ourselves and look at others and we think, I'm better than you, we also create the superiority complex. And this always brings us a lot of suffering because we driven by this self complex. Is either higher, lower, or equal. And we can never be ourselves. And we cannot content with ourselves with whatever we have. And the society also pushes us in that way, to compete, to compare, to be number one, to be better. And if you are not good, you go behind or you get depressed. And we keep running the media, the social media, the consumption, the advertising, always push us in that direction. So when we practice, we just come back and aware. By come back to your breathing, come back, bring your mind back to your body, and basically just say, okay, breathing in, I am aware of this comparing thinking. You call it by true names. My old friend, this is comparing thinking. My comparing thought come again. And breathing out, I smile. The minute you smile, that energy of habit, energy of that thinking already calm down. And it's already bring you back to yourself as who you are. And you can see yourself clearer and clearer. And you can see what is stimulate you to have this kind of thinking. And you avoid that condition. When we have suffering, it's continue to be there because we have feed it. There's some food, some cause and condition that we allowed it and to be happen. And we try to cut all those cause and condition. And you can really come back to yourself and be content with yourself and feel that at ease, calm within yourself. And that's like the state of purity. For me, it's the state of the child. It's the state of the baby that when they just born, not so much affect. When you come with the family program, you see many kids, they're running around, but they can also in touch with the practice very quick in their own way. And I think when we be able to recognize and aware in this way, we can really live in our life every day, feel content within, feel at ease. And from that base, then you can continue and connect with other people and events around, the things around you better. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. That was very insightful. That helped me. Yeah. Thank you.
Dear brothers, sisters, and family, so before I start asking my questions today, I want to share about a short story that I have read about Buddha when somebody say the bad things about you, and Buddha said that you treat it like a present, and when they give you a present and you don't want to take it, then who that presents belong to? I think you guys won't have your own answer. So, yeah, it's just really an impressive, like, interesting story that I like the most. But that's the theories. But in the real life, when I'm on the office, when my colleagues or friends say the bad things about me, I still feel like it's attacks and I'm a tree with so many negative tags in my body. And I feel that the dark hole inside me, I feel really empty inside. So my question is, I really don't know how to love myself. Actually, because sister already say that we should practice meditation, practice deeply meditation. But I still because there are so many emptiness inside me. So I still want to listen to the real story on how brother and sister here practice meditation and help you find yourself and how you love yourself.
So your question is, in your office, I think there is two parts. I'm not very clear. One is when someone says something bad, then you still feel irritated, you still feel upset. And then how can you love yourself in those situations? Is it like that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I'm a tree and I receive all of the negative things when they talk about me, and I believe that that's exactly who I am. You know, like a black hole, and you observe everything that they give you. Yes. And because I think I'm not strong enough on practicing meditation and mindfulness. So even when you say that practice deeply, I still don't understand because there are so many doubts about myself. I'm not sure who am I and do I have any good? Yeah. And I just want to know, how did you, on practicing, know how to love yourself? Not the other people, but yourself.
Brother Pear call on Sister Cherry.
So, dear friends, when I have learned that we all have good seeds and bad seeds in us, good seeds like kindness, compassion, peace and joy, we all have those good seeds. But at the same time, we have bad seeds also. We have anger, we have jealousy, we have discrimination. So when someone who says something very discriminative, they are touching that seed in us. They are touching that seed of discrimination in us or anger in us. And that is, we give that chance. We give the chance for that seed to wake up and to manifest. So you see, we all have bad seeds and good seeds. And when we know that, we have more trust in ourselves and in others. And our practice is learning how to avoid watering bad seeds in us and in others. The 5 mindfulness trainings are to help us to water only the good seeds in us and in others and avoid watering the bad seeds. So when someone says bad thing in us, it's an opportunity for us to come back to ourselves and see whether he is touching that bad seed in us, his anger. So if you truly love yourself, you know how to guard that kind of seed not to be water. So you need to practice mindful breathing, coming back to yourself, mindful walking, daily practice. If you go on steadily, regularly, help you to cultivate that kind of strong mindfulness, strong awareness, for you to apply it when things happen. We do not wait until things happen to be able to stay calm. It's not easy. So the practice, regular practice, daily practice, are for us to strengthening our awareness, how to protect our good seeds, and how to not allow others to water the bad seeds in us. So you see, when things happen wrongly, it's an opportunity for us to come back to ourselves and to see what seed in us is water. And so you know how to protect yourself better, guarding the six senses, because we go in contact with the world outside through our six sense organs, eyes, ear. And if you know how to protect yourself, you know how to be mindful when you look at something, when you hear something, when you touch something, whether that things is helping you to stay peaceful or mindful or not. How to guard yourself, how to guard your six senses for you to be well protected. And when we practice with all the practices here, they are like invitations for us to come back to ourselves and to take care of ourselves, how we deal with things that are happening. Are we watering the good seeds in us, or are we watering the bad seeds in us? We must see that clearly. That is the best way for us to learn how to love ourselves, how to protect yourself, how to nourish yourself with all the good seeds that are there in you. Help them to have a chance to grow, to get stronger. So the bad seeds in you, they shall get weaker and weaker. And the 5 mindfulness trainings are the best tool for us to learn how to protect ourselves, how to cultivate more self-love, self-protection, and self-respect. So when you are aware of that kind of practice, so you don't fear no more anything that goes wrong, because that's a good opportunity to come back to yourself and understand yourself better. Are you getting stronger with the practice of mindfulness, or is it still very weak, so that you can learn how to improve it by daily practice? Mindful walking, eating, sitting, everything done in mindfulness shall help you how to get stronger. Like you save money in the bank for you to use it when you need it. So regular practice in daily life help you how to deal with things that are happening in your daily life with more calm and peace, understanding, and acceptance. Thank you. Is that our brothers, sisters can...
Thank you. So, dear brothers and sisters, my question is, so I think a lot of my current suffering comes from seeing the suffering of other people, especially people who are close to my heart and people who I love. And I feel that I feel a bit helpless because I couldn't help them. And therefore, sometimes I have to suppress the kind of feelings for other people because I'll feel hurt when I see other people suffer. So I wonder if there are any stories or experiences that you can share from seeing the suffering of your loved ones.
Thank you for asking the questions. I think that is very common for people, that we share the pain, the suffering with other people. Recently we have a trip to India. We have the monastics and the lay friends traveling in India. So India, you see beggars everywhere. Wherever you go, beggars are there. Yeah. So the first day when we arrive and we see those images, I also feel there is something inside myself. I feel poor for them. And I wanted to give them something. But then the tour guide reminded us not to give the beggar. Yeah. So I feel not at ease. One side we want to give, and one side we were asked not to give. So there was a conflict within myself. Yeah. But then suddenly I realized maybe it is just my need. It is not the other people's need. It is my hurt. It is my uneasiness. It is not the children. Because I have the need to give. But for the children, I observe when they keep asking for money. But then when we do not give them the money, and they're still running around and play. They are happy. But we have the feeling we are not giving. I have the feeling that I am not giving. So I have to deal with my feeling. It's not the other person. It's not outside of me, but it is here inside of me. Yeah. So when I realized that, I feel relief. That I need to come back to myself first and see it is my feelings. Yeah. It is my feeling. It is not the other people. The children are still happy. They ask for money, but then when we don't give them the money, they're still happy. They run away and they play with each other. Yeah. So in Buddhism, we talk about compassion and wisdom. So compassion is on one side, and wisdom is on the other side. So when we have compassion for other people, we need to look and see if that compassion if there is wisdom in that compassion or not. Yeah. So the best way to love other people is to start from ourselves. Yeah. We love ourselves. It is not good if we love other people, but then we carry all the heaviness within us. Yeah. Then you can offer nothing. You see people suffer and you suffer. So for the monastic, for example, like many people want to have consultation, but then we have a limited number of monastic who can give consultation. So we have to limit the number. I know myself, every morning I can receive 2 or 3 only. I cannot receive more than that. I know my limitation. So I just receive 3. And then I offer my time, my energy for those 3 people. Yeah. So in terms of loving, caring, being compassionate, we also need to know our capacity. Yeah. So that's why we offer the retreat, but then after this we need to come back to our daily schedule to cultivate our practice so that we can have enough peace, and then we can offer for the next retreat. So at home you can also You have to know your limitation, whether you can help them or not. Yeah. And even the Buddha, he cannot help everybody. Yeah.
Dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, the question I have is, well, I would really love to share more with the world, write books and articles and share more. And yet I struggle with the concept of confidence. And in my mind, I understand that we learned about the wholesome seeds and the unwholesome seeds. And when it comes to confidence, somehow, because of society, how we learned, the concept of confidence is a mixture of the unwholesome seeds and the wholesome seeds. There's of course, to have confidence, I'm aware that I need love and a sense of peaceful security and so on. And at the same time, there's also the seed of ego. And I'm worried that if I do put myself, put my thoughts, share more with the world, and grow in confidence, that it would also grow my ego in being arrogant and perhaps even having a greater attachment to these worldly concepts. So I would like to seek your wisdom on how to separate the wholesome seeds and the unwholesome seeds in order to have a confidence that is much more wholesome in nature.
So, dear Sangha, dear friends, I think we hardly separate the unwholesome seed from the wholesome seed when we live in the society and also from everywhere. But we have learned that we can transform the unwholesome seed into the wholesome seed, like the mud and the lotus. The lotus cannot grow on the marble, but it can grow on the mud. That means you can use your mindfulness energy to contemplate on your suffering or your negative things in the world in order to make a better way to transform it in a more beautiful and wholesome way. So, I think it happened like that.
Can I just clarify? Is there a need to separate that, or is it just acceptance that the water is muddy? That in order to have confidence, it's gonna come with the arisal of ego, or how does it work?
About the term of confidence, when you share with the world about what you want, I think we have learned about the four elements of true love. What is the purpose of sharing that things that you would like to share the world? So you need to have the true love in yourself, that you want the world to know about your message, so that everyone can have a happier, way of living or things like that. So it needs to come from the goal that make people happier, but not about yourself, to show yourself up or things like that. And that will touch the people, and we can communicate from heart to heart, because we all have the same difficulties or same problem in our daily life, so we can have a mutual understanding about ourselves. So we don't see that I am here and share with you about things and the teaching or things like that, but we are on the same path. We want have a better life, happier living, so we work together. So I think that is my sharing. Thank you.
Do we end at 10:45? Right? Later, okay. How many more questions? Can you raise your hand? 3. Okay, please. The organizing team that we can continue. Please keep your questions short and precise. Thank you.
Dear respected Thai, dear brothers and sisters, and dear Sangha, I, along with many new Buddhism practitioners in this retreat, I think I can speak on behalf of them that, I can speak on behalf of them that we see Buddhism as a way of life and practice to learn from and just develop ourselves as we become more mindful. But outside Plum Village, there seems to be a core belief in Buddhism in reincarnation and karma. I'm just curious how we should approach the topic and how should we learn about it, how should we go about it, because it seems like almost contrasting to some of the ways that we learn here, which is to be given the tools to learn about mindfulness rather than be imposed with a belief. So I'm just curious how we should approach this topic and how we can learn about it and with an open mind.
Everything is but a continuation. So the present is a continuation of the past, and it is a continuation of the future. So when we are dwelling mindfully in the present moment, we can transform the past, and we can prepare ourselves for a better future. So when you say something unkind, so you can see the reaction of others, that is a kind of reincarnation, the continuation of your word keeps going on to yourself and to others. That's the way our teacher, he explained about karma, we create our own life. We create, the Buddha said, it is your mind that creates this world. And if we come back to ourselves and look at it more deeply, it is true, very true. The way you see things, you shall have to rely on the way you see things. Whether you see it with new eyes, because everything is changing, but you think it is the same way. Because your perception is your past experiences, and most of the time, if you can say all of our time, we see things through our own perceptions, our own past experiences, and it shall lead to others' way of doing things. Our perception shall guide our way of speaking, or living, or acting. So we need to be aware of our perception. So that is what the practice of the 5 mindfulness training help us to be more careful in our way of acting, seeing things, and dealing with things, because it is our continuation. It is our karma. It is our reincarnation. Thank you.
Thank you, dear brothers and sisters, and everybody here. And thank you for providing this opportunity. I like asking questions, so I appreciate this. In a sense, I feel my question may have already been asked, but maybe I will repeat it just to see if there is any expansion. But I worry that practicing compassion means accepting and even participating in things that cause suffering, even evil things that cause other people to suffer. So what is the boundary when practicing compassion between passivity and accepting things as they are, despite the fact that they may cause suffering, and then intervening in the world and trying to reduce suffering or change things to make the world a better place?
Compassion is one of the elements of true love, which we have learned also in this retreat. And we have to really understand the meaning of compassion and know how to practice with it and to develop that energy, that capacity. And it's basically the capacity that we are able to relieve our suffering. We be able to train ourselves, not just only intention, our intention to help others, to relieve suffering in the world, but it's had to train ourselves to be one of our capacity. And it's starting from when you can come back to yourself and you recognize, this is my anger, this is my sadness. And you will be able to breathe with it, stay with it, calm down our anger, calm down our sadness, and be able to embrace and have enough concentration to see where's the root. Because the root is always in us. And when we can understand and we come out, we understand the other person also suffer. That's why they make us angry. In that process, you're already working practicing compassion. But when you can really do it yourself, you will understand the energy of compassion, because you yourself have come out of your own suffering, your own difficulties, your own wound. And that kind of energy is come together with understanding yourself, and naturally you understand the others. Especially when you see some friends or someone in the society and have the same kind of difficulty, suffering you have, you will know exactly what he or she or they meet and feel and going through. That is already give rise to the energy of compassion. And with that energy, you'll be able to know what to do, what to share with that person, what to write to that place, and with a lot of understanding and capacity, willingness and capacity to help that person, to help that even to come out of the suffering, of the negative affect, negative energy. That's why Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara is a practice, the quality that we developed to have a capacity to listen deeply, first to ourselves, and then we practice to expand that capacity to listen to others. Because in that space of listening deeply, we open our heart and we can really empty our idea, our preconceived idea, our experience, and oh, I know this and that. Even though we have gone through that experience, sometimes we also use that. But it's become an obstacle. The moment that you listen, you empty everything in order to receive and be able to really hear the root of that person's suffering, the root of that thing that happened that caused suffering in the society. And in this way, we can understand and we can become a changing agent. And when we practice in this way, we also have to maintain the energy of awareness, energy of mindfulness. If you cannot continue to feel that energy of compassion anymore, it means it's reached your limit. You have to stop or step back. Or that trying and try to help and relieve the suffering is give rise to the feeling of agitation or not want to give anymore, or you don't feel kind of joy in offering, or you start to feel this side and that side. It means you start to walk away from all the elements of true love. So you can kind of aware and see what is happening in my body. Sometimes when I listen, I feel that, oh, my stomach start to get tightened a little bit. I know that, okay, it's time to stop. The body can give us a lot of signal. And it was so, sometimes the feeling and the thinking, we cannot aware it so quick. And sometimes we aware of the feelings coming up, either like or dislike. We know that, okay, we are reaching our limit, because we start to not be able to stay non-discrimination in the way that we feel or we think, or the thinking that arises, and we listen, we look at it, and we use just the brain, the mind that analyzing all the time. But we didn't use really the energy of awareness, of mindfulness, really just to see things as it is. And those kind of is a signal to tell us that, okay, we have to stop and come back and go for walking meditation, sitting, join the Sangha activity, and bring back our balance again. And in that way, we can maintain for a long time, and we can really become a changing agent for all the suffering in ourselves and in the world. Last question.
Dear Thầy, dear brother and sister, dear Sangha, and dear friends, I have a question regarding medical conditions. So I have a chronic medical conditions, so it is pretty much essential for me to practice mindful breathing and a techniques that help me to go through it myself. But when I practice mindfulness, it has been only 6 months, but when I get the hang of mindfulness and kind of knowing what to do with my body, there's a state that happened to me, the state of reluctantly reach out to specialists and professionals. So I have a So a part of me, I know that I know how to deal with my own body and my own problems. So there's a lot of time that I often neglect visiting a specialist, because deep down inside me, I know that my breathing can help me to reduce the pain. But yesterday when I consult with Google, it says that it is very scientifically impossible to completely free from, especially when I have medical condition, to be completely free from getting help from professionals. But in terms of spiritual, is that possible that I can kind of take refuge in myself and with my awareness and mindful breathing, really let me get through that without help? I don't know if that's clear enough. Thank you.
The energy of mindfulness, the energy of being able to come back to the here and now, is also come back to your breathing and stay and in the present. Is also a healing energy. That's why we also have the kata just to say breathing, healing, breathing, healing. We don't have to wait until 1 year or 2 years. It's happened right there. It's a healing capacity in us, because in every cell of our body there is can also receive that energy and do what it needs to be done. Our body is like community as well. When we know how to take care by relaxing, resting, and maintain our breathing, and when we dwell deeply in the present moment, we gain a lot of happiness and joy. Those are the healing element. And we can always continue and maintain it for our whole life. And the fact that we maintain our practice of breathing and awareness, we will know, I have pain. And we will know where the pain comes from. This is my sadness. When I have my sadness, it also affects my body and affect my energy. So we take care of our body, and at the same time we also take care of our sadness. When I work too much, when I think too much, I worry too much, I feel stressed. I get pain in this part of my body. And sometimes in the past, maybe I have never known, so it's become a body have a habit energy to collect and to feel tense, to be a block of suffering, a block of pain. Every cell also gets sick, and we get sick in that part. That's why the doctors say many diseases now come from stress and cancer and many things, how many diseases I cannot find. And we know that the spiritual practice, a practice like this, is the foundation that can always help. But the practice also is not to be extreme, to take either one side or the other, to go see specialists or not specialists. It's not a problem. It's not a question. To take Western medicine or Eastern medicine is not a question. The question that when you practice, you're aware of your body, you're aware of your mind. When it's the thing in your mind, you take care of your mind. But when the thing is in your body, if you need to use medicine, you use medicine. If you need to consult someone that maybe know more about this part, you can consult. Because it's wonderful to have so many knowledge now in the world and people who spend time whole life studying. But when you consult, you also wash your mind. You are aware of what the specialists share, and then you are aware what is happening in your feeling, in your thinking. And I think the best that we try to bring the harmony of every cell, the community of cells in our body, and we bring the happiness in our body and our mind. And when you can see in that way, then you can see what is best at that moment, at that year, at that time. And the energy of awareness will help you decide. Google cannot have the energy of awareness. Google is giving you information, and information is always right, wrong, like, dislike, and information change all the time according to who present it and how that person when they present it, or research and everything. We can read, get more information and understand, but we have to read mindfully. And we have to be aware of ourselves as a foundation, so we know what we want. And we are the one who tell the doctor what to do. You go to doctor, they will ask you, how are you? Where is your pain? How is the pain? How it happened? You're the one who give all the information. And they have to rely on your information, on your awareness. And then they will do their part. And if we need to rely on their specialty, we rely on their specialty. We don't have to be so extreme one way or the other. and it's applied in everything in our life. And that's how we bring awareness and mindfulness in our daily life. And we can live our life balanced. We can balance ourselves, our body and mind. And then we can live in daily life with friends, families, and workplace in a more balanced way. And the bottom line, how you maintain your feeling of harmony at ease in yourself and your happiness. And every morning you get up, you see that, oh, I can feel fresh and joy. Then you go on the right path. Thai always say that if you practice, you have joy, you are on the right path. So good luck and thank you for your question. Thank you everyone for being here and asking questions and help us to practice answering questions. Let us listening to 3 sounds of the bell together.